Hello, my best bookies. Today I am filming my April TBR. This is always one of my favorite videos to film. I love making TBRs. I love making wrap-ups. Those are some of the most fun videos to make and put out to me. I love watching them. I love making them. I love planning them, and it's just an overall fun experience. And this month I am coming to you with something quite ambitious. I am definitely not going to be getting to all these books, but ideally I will get to almost all of them. It's a list of 10 novels, and I should be able to get to 9 of them, but I also have spring break this month and I'm going on vacation, and there's a large chance I'll be able to do quite a good bit of reading then. So 10 books is possible this month, and I am super excited to come at you guys with what I would love for those to be. First off, we have a new release from March, and that is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. So I got this novel because it is the Book Nookers pick of the month. Book Nookers is a new club I have started with some of my friends, and each month we will be reading a new release from the previous month. So I have to have To Kill a Kingdom done by the end of April, so this is definitely on the top of my TBR, and I am super excited to get to it. It is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, in which the mermaid, I don't know a lot about it, but essentially Ariel, arrives on shore, and the prince that rescues her has a mission to kill everybody of her kind, but he doesn't know that she is of her kind, I guess. So she, I believe, is planning to, kill him, hopefully, to stop this threat to her world, but I think she falls in love with him and that kind of thing, and it could be totally off, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. That's what I've grasped so far. It sounds very good. Like I said, it is a Book Nookers pick of the month, which means my friends and I voted for it, which means we really want to read it. So I am definitely looking forward to it. It should be fun, and like I said, I definitely have to get to this month. So this is a for sure read. Next up, we have Ice Like Fire and Frost Like Night by Sarah Rosh, the second and third books in the Snow Like Ashes trilogy. I read Snow Like Ashes last month, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 3.75 stars, and I want to continue on with the series. However, I have not been able to find Ice Like Fire anywhere in my Barnes & Nobles. I got the third one because I knew I would be continuing once I finished Ice Like Fire, but I have to find Ice Like Fire first, and I don't know when that will be happening. I might not be able to read Ice Like Fire for months, and I'm hoping that is not the case, but I really just need to find it because I am very annoyed that I have not been able to. But anyway, this takes place in a world where all 4 of the seasons are kingdoms, and winter has been taken over by spring. And there are 25 refugees, and one of them is actually the heir to the Winterian throne, and the main character is totally crushing on him, and they have been growing up as refugees since they were born, and it is a great story. I really liked the first one. Good plot. Like I say, I gave it 3.75 stars, so quite enjoyable. And I'm hoping to move on with the rest of the series and get this over with, because I've wanted to be reading it for a while, and I got into it, and now I can't continue reading it once I finally got into it because I don't have the next book in the series, and that is incredibly frustrating. But anyway, yes, it's Ice Like Fire and Frost Like Night. After that, we have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is the first book in the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab, and it takes place in this world where there are 4-dimensional Londons: black, red, gray, and white, and they all are at varying amounts of magic. And the main character is something I believe called Inatarai, also known as the Red Traveler, because he can travel between any of the 4 Londons, unlike most people. And so he works for the government, sending messages and information, but he also works for some people smuggling information across the border for some extra cash. However, when one of these deals goes wrong, he has to escape into Grey London, which is essentially modern, regular-day London, and enlist the help of somebody named Delilah, and I don't know much else about it, but it sounds like a fun, cool ride. I've heard this first one is a very fun one, and then after that it just gets deeper and more intense, and I'm going to love it. So I am totally excited about this. Like I said, first book in a trilogy. Been looking forward to trying V.E. Schwab for a long time, but I have not gotten to her, and this will be my first book by her, and I'm really hoping to enjoy it. Next, we have Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I read one of Ruta Sepetys' other novels, Between Shades of Grey, and I loved it. It is still one of the best historical fictions I've ever read, and I am looking forward to this one even more because this one sounds even better. It is a multi-perspective story following 4 different characters as they try to flee Nazi Europe and get on this ship destined to take them elsewhere. However, since it is a true history event, I believe that the boat is shut down by Nazi torpedoes and that most people die. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if that's completely accurate, but I think that's what's going to happen. I've heard I will cry like I did in the last one, and I am just so looking forward to it. This one has also been on my TBR for a good bit of time, and I am excited to finally get to it, but I still don't own a copy of it, so it is debatable how quickly I will be getting to it. Then we have Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, the author of Everything I Never Told You, which I bet a lot of you remember. Everything I Never Told You is a young adult novel very heavily dealing with race and grief, and this one deals with the grief as well as kind of a mystery element. So I know it follows this new kind of crazy family as they move into your average residential suburban neighborhood, and I believe house fires start happening, hence the title, and there is some kind of arson aspect, and everybody kind of automatically suspects the new neighbors, and I am super looking forward to it. Book of the Month sent this out in one of their boxes, which means it is amazing. I have never gotten a Book of the Month box, and I don't know if I've ever read a Book of the Month book, but I'm excited to have this be my first one. I've heard only great things about Celeste Ng, about this story. I have an aunt who finished it not too long ago, and she loved it, and I am so excited to get to this novel. Plus, not to mention, it's got CN on there for Celeste Ng, which is very cool. This is definitely on the top of my April TBR. And then we have The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia. I read this a long time ago. I forgot everything. I didn't understand a lot of it, I remember, because I was just too young. I was just not mature enough to be able to understand it. And now I think I will be, and I am very excited to get into this classic. It is technically a classic, so I can say I read a classic this month, which is not something I get to do all the time, so that's super exciting. But this takes place in a world. It is the modern world, but these two kids, Diggory and Polly, end up getting their way into their uncle's attic, and they get transported to Narnia, where they have fun adventures, essentially, is the plot of this. Like I said, total classic, totally looking forward to reading it. It should be pretty fun. This is the Scholastic edition, which is only distributed through the school market. I don't know what that means, but that might mean it's a bit more difficult to find if you're looking for this specific edition. But it sounds cool. I'm looking forward to finally getting through this book and the rest of the series, and it should be a fun, wild ride. Then we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is another one like Salt of the Sea, where I don't have a copy of it, so I don't know how soon I will super be able to get to it, but I am looking forward to it. It takes place in this fae world, and I know there's this cruel prince trying to track down the main character. Don't know much more than that. Don't really care to know much more than that. It's super popular. I know so many people who have loved it. The cover for both of them, the first one and the second one, which has just been revealed, the cover, they are beautiful and they would look great on my shelf. I have heard only amazing things about Holly Black, and I'm looking forward to trying her out for the first time. I know it's crazy. I haven't read her Magisterium series because that was written with Cassandra Clare, one of my favorite authors of all time. But I will finally be trying her out, and I am super excited to do so this month. And then we have whatever the uppercase novel of the month will be. I have no idea what that could be. I'm thinking, though, it should be Starry Eyes by, I believe, Jean Bennett. That was the only one that has fit the time range that Lisa Thompson, the woman who runs Uppercase, has read and given a high rating. So I'm thinking it will be Starry Eyes. Looking forward to that. That sounds like a cute little fun woodsy contemporary to get me out of my fantasy TBR I've got going this month. And it should be a fun little cute YA. Then there is Cinder by Marissa Meyer, the first book in the Lunar Chronicles, which is such a well-loved series. I know it is crazy I have not yet read this, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun, crazy, cool ride. This is a retelling series, so the first one following Cinderella, the second one following Little Red Riding Hood, the third a Rapunzel, and then the fourth a Snow White. It sounds just amazing. I don't read a lot of retellings, but the ones I have read recently are amazing, and I'm super looking forward to this one. It should be the start of a great, fun ride of an awesome series. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. That was my April TBR. I always feel like these videos just, like, happen, because I always have them planned out on my video schedule, but then every once in a while I'm just like, March is over. It's that time to film April TBR, and that's always so crazy to me. But thank you guys once again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and obviously YouTube at Alex's Reads and Reviews. On my Instagram, it's Alex's Reads and Reviews 1 because of a bunch of complicated stuff. Please find me on those social medias. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one. Bye.